Good afternoon and welcome to the Knit Shift episode 103. My name is Laura and today is Friday, February 23rd, 2018. Thank you so much for stopping by the Knit Shift today, whether this is your first visit or we have chatted before. I do really appreciate you choosing to spend a little bit of your day with me, so thank you so much. Show notes can be found at theknitshift.com. This episode will be available on iTunes and YouTube and will be embedded on the blog. I am on Ravelry as Yarnstormer. I'm on Instagram as Laura Mahalski. I would love it if you friended me on both platforms. And we do have a group for the podcast over on Ravelry. If you search for The Knit Shift, you will find us. So please do join. It's been a little while since we've had a knit along, and I feel like this is the longest gap we've had in between knit alongs, so I'm gonna put my thinking cap on and try and find a suitable knit along for us in the coming months, so stay tuned for that. It's been a good few weeks around here. I had my birthday. I took a class with Susan B. Anderson, which I will talk more about later, and yeah, it's just been a good couple weeks, a busy few weeks, and I have done quite a bit of knitting, as it turns out. When I look back at my body of work for the past 2.5 weeks, I was kind of surprised at how much I had been knitting. So let us get to the knitting. I have one FO to share with you today, and they are my birthday socks. I did not finish these in time for my birthday, as it turned out. Working on my class homework for Susan B. Anderson's class took some time away, so these were done like 6 days after my birthday. And yeah, these I am super happy with. These are my second pair of socks for the year. This is Miss Babs Caroline in the colorway Rhinebeck 2017, and it is an exclusive colorway to Rhinebeck. And Caroline is a base that it has 20% cashmere. I believe it is 70% merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. So these socks are not going to wear very well. I am completely aware of that. But I have worn them once, so these are actually, they're really wet and clammy on the blockers right now because they've been drying on the drying rack. So, and they smell quite woolly, so I will put one of them down and show you the details. These are my usual stockinette socks. I cast on at the toe and worked my way up to what I think is about 68 stitches and carried on up the foot, did a fish lips kiss heel, carried on up the leg, and ended with a very generous 2x2 ribbed cuff. And after only one wear, this one spot on the bottom, I don't think this, no, maybe not. I was gonna say the stitches look like they're a little matted already. I don't know if that's actually the case. I think it's just that this section is lighter. So, well, maybe the stitches look less defined right here. So maybe this part right under my foot, it's already showing a little bit of wear, but that's okay. I wanted these to be a luxurious, cozy, soft sock, and I am so happy with them. And I believe I knit these on a size 0 in the hopes that the nice tight stitches would keep it wearing a little bit better, a little bit longer. So yes, very happy with those. And that brings me to works in progress. I'm kind of I'm on Sock Island, I guess you could say. I'm on the precipice, I'm on the abyss of sock knitting. I have been working on this sock that I used in Susan, I always use her middle initial like so many podcasters do. I'm just gonna say Susan instead of Susan B. Anderson because why not? So I worked on this sock for Susan's class, but I have to say I'm not sure if I want to keep knitting it, and I'm not sure if I want to keep knitting the mate. And that is by no means a reflection on the class I took, which I'll tell you a little bit about now. Susan came to town and taught several classes at Fiberspace in Alexandria, Virginia, which is where I live. And I had taken classes from her before. I think about 2 years ago, my friend Lennis and I drove up from Norfolk and Virginia Beach, where I used to live. Lennis is still there, and we took I took 2 classes with Susan. She took 1. We were in a shawl design class, and in the afternoon I did her doll class, a doll that I still have not finished. It is just a head and torso. So awesome. But that being said, they were really good classes. I really enjoyed her teaching style. So I thought when I was looking at Fiberspace's Instagram and I saw that she was teaching a class on her smooth operator sock, I said, oh yeah. And it was my birthday weekend. I said, I'm gonna plunk down the $75 and attend this class. It was 3 hours, and I have more than half a sock done, including I finished the heel. So the smooth operator sock is a pattern that Susan devised for an afterthought heel. Of course, you can't tell this is an afterthought heel because I'm using the same yarn, but it is. It's a little awkward to try and, here we go. I haven't washed or blocked this because it's still in progress, so it's a little bit awkward to look at. You know what, let me try and put it on the sock blocker and see if that helps. Just a second. So I'm a little bit afraid my first smooth operator heel is a little bit baggy. As you can see, it is kind of loosey-goosey on the sock here, but that's okay. I haven't tried it on yet to see how it fits. I do really like it. One of the main things I wanted to learn was how to avoid the holes that you often get where the leg and the foot meet to start the heel. And this is one side. Look at how good that looks, you guys, on my very first attempt. The other side is a little bit messier because this is where the yarn started, but if I reach my hands in and I tighten the yarn, this little spot really does go away quite easily. So no harm, no foul. So my homework for the class was to knit the cuff and the leg of a sock. And so during class we put in waste yarn for the heel and then kept going because of course it's an afterthought heel, which means you knit it after the fact. So so I knit probably 2/3 of the heel during class and then finished the rest at home. So we'll see. Let me try, you know what? I'm gonna try the sock on so I can tell you guys a little bit more about how it fits. So I can't talk about it too much because it is a paid for pattern, but I can at least let you know how I feel about it on my foot. So I have it on my foot, and even though it looked a little big and loosey-goosey on the sock blocker and just in general, it really does fit my heel quite nicely. It is fitting perfectly. There's not a lot of stretch or give here, so I wonder if it's perhaps, we'll see if it's too big, but now that I have it on, I'm kind of more excited about this. So I will keep knitting on it and finish the sock and see how I feel about it. Okay, so Susan's classes have small group demonstrations where she kind of splits the class of about 20 up and she takes you aside and shows you some of the techniques. And I'm a pretty advanced sock knitter, so everything was pretty straightforward and felt pretty easy to me, which I appreciated. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. The people in my class were lovely. I chatted with a few ladies and we exchanged Instagram handles, and I don't think I mentioned that I have a podcast, but if for some reason you guys watch this, hello, it was so nice to meet you. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a wonderful way to spend a few hours to come together with strangers and talk about yarn and knitting. And yeah, I really did enjoy it quite a bit. So, oh, and a few people asked, so if you have been watching the Knit Shift for a while, you will remember that I took the classes with Susan while I was making this podcast. And I just think she's a wonderful, she just seems like such a kind person, and she designs these amazing patterns and just seems like a very kind soul, not to be too cheesy about it. So I knit her a pair of socks before the first class I took with her because I knit socks for people that I like. That's what I do. And she was so kind and surprised about it the first time. And so I didn't waltz into class this time, you know, what, 1.5 years, 2 years later, and say, hey, remember me? I'm the weirdo that knit you socks. But at the end of class, I did ask her for a photo. And I said, I don't know if you remember coming here a couple years ago, but I was the girl, I was the lady who brought you socks that I made because I just think you're awesome. So thank you for coming back. It's so nice to see you again. And she was like, yes, I remember. You looked familiar to me. And even if she was totally BSing me, she did not, she sold it well, you know, and she said, I love the socks. I have them in my rotation. Thank you so much again. It's so good to see you again, that kind of thing. So that was really nice of her to say. So that was the first day of my birthday weekend. what else did I do? I had a quiet night with Josh Friday night. On Saturday, I had some knitting friends over and just to hang out, and we watched the Olympics and we ate cake and snacky things, and it was really nice. And then on Sunday was my actual birthday, and Josh and I went to a Brazilian steakhouse where they bring the waiters bring the big things of meat around, and they carve it right at your table, and it's all you can eat, or as Josh and I like to say, all you can meet. And it was amazing. It was such a nice dinner. We went to Fogo de Chão in downtown DC, which is a really, really nice special occasion place. I turned 35. It was a tremendous weekend. One of the best birthday weekends I've had in a really long time. And yeah, that was it. So on to my next work in progress. Oh, and I will show you first what I'm keeping the sock in. I'm using my Bink waffle bag, my little handle bag out of some canvas, and I really love this. Yes, okay, my next work in progress. If you watched the Knit Shift last time around, episode 102, I talked about my desire to knit a project for the Olympics. And I said, come back in a few weeks, because maybe I'll have a sweater mostly done. It's not mostly done, but it's starting to look more like a sweater. I'm carrying this around in a Fiberspace bag. I'm not a shill for Fiberspace. They just have really nice bags for your purchases. And I am knitting the Grace cardigan, which is by Jane Richmond. And it's a fingering weight cardigan. So to knit a fingering weight cardigan when you are plus size in 16 days is next to impossible. I mean, if I didn't have to work or eat or, you know, try and keep the house presentable, sure, maybe I would have gotten more done. I never expected to get this done. But, yeah. So, any progress is good progress on a sweater. So, just like the athlete who, I don't know if anyone saw this, but there was she's an American, but she's competing for like Hungary, perhaps, in the ski halfpipe, one of the ski halfpipe competitions. She basically, her whole end goal was to compete in the Olympics, and all she did at the halfpipe was go up and turn around and come back, and go turn around and come back. She didn't do any of the flippity dippity tricks and all that. All she did was literally ski back and forth in the halfpipe. That was it. And you know what? I say, if that's your dream, go for it, lady. No skin off my back. So just like her, I'm just happy to be competing in the Olympics. I have no aspirations of finishing this. You know, I knew it would be a difficult task. Just happy to be here knitting my sweater. So here's what Grace looks like. It is a button-down cardigan, and there is a lace yoke and then stockinette body. And I am knitting this out of Miss Babs Kira in the colorway Oyster, which is a lovely pearl gray. If it would focus. So I've knit this much of the first skein, which is about 600 yards, and I am now alternating skeins. So I have knit like 600-ish yards on this cardigan, which is very impressive in 2 weeks, for me at least, because this has not been a project I've taken on my commute very often. It's just too unwieldy. Now that I'm in a stockinette section, it's not too bad, but it's really difficult to travel with this sweater. Let me do a little untangling and reconnoitering. So it is a top-down raglan knit in one piece, and here's what it looks like. So that's pretty impressive for 2 weeks time. I need to pat myself on the back because this is quite a bit, actually. So here is the front right side. So it's this beautiful lace. It's a very simple lace, and it looks kind of like chainmail, which I think is awesome. And it is not, the lace does not happen on the sleeve, but then it's also on the back. So let me put it on for you guys so you can see what it looks like. I'm sending my yarn flying as I do this, but it's all for the pod, right? So let me kind of stand here, not to like just show you my chest on this, but you know, it's kind of hard to avoid. So here's where I am. And I did do gauge for this ahead of the Olympics. And and it will have buttons. There'll be a button band. So yeah, I'm super happy with this actually. So I've started doing some waist decreases. I'm very close to the next one. So yeah, really love the color. I really wanted a beautiful neutral cardigan that I could take to work, wear over just about every dress, that kind of thing. So I'm very motivated to keep working on this, and I think that's what I'll be doing later today. I want to use up this ball of yarn and then start alternating another one. I have 4 skeins of yarn for this, which is well more than is needed. The pattern, whatever the pattern calls for, I made sure I think I bought an extra skein. So I am 6 feet tall. I am knitting a larger size, but I feel pretty good about my yarn choice and my yarn yardage. So stay tuned for perhaps a comeuppance on that. So I'm going to take this little cardigan. So it's like a crop top cardigan right now. That will be what I have accomplished during the podcast or during the Olympics. So pretty cool. I think I had to go up 1 needle size to get gauge, which is perfectly fine. Gotta keep getting the yarn out from all around me. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I haven't knit myself a sweater in some time, and I knew deep down inside that my next sweater really needed to be a fingering weight one, because I think that'll be the most comfortable for me temperature wise, because I get overheated. So it'll be versatile, and I'm super stoked about it. So yeah, that's it for my works in progress. Yeah, that brings us to yarns actually, because whilst I have not been shopping, I did receive some birthday yarns and gifts, so let's talk about them. So like I mentioned, I had some knitting friends over on Saturday the 10th, the day before my birthday, and I meant to tell them, please don't bring gifts, I just want to hang out and like eat Indian food and cookie cake with you guys. Like, that is literally the gift. That is all I want. But they pulled some resources and got me 2 lovely skeins of yarn, and it made me cry, along with the 3rd gift, which, yeah. So they went to Fiberspace and they got me Nerd String fingering weight, which I think is 100% merino, yes. 438 yards, and the colorway Raspberry Beret. And it is glorious. I think this is so pretty. This will definitely go into a shawl someday. I love this color so much. And then they also got me this beautiful Skate of Lemonade shop, which it's gonna blow out the camera, but it's this lovely mint with orange flecks and speckles. And I think the colorway is Goldfish, yes. And it's an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. I love this. This would be an amazing baby sweater. It's so soft. I really like Lemonade Shop's base. And the other thing they did is my friend Emily is a wonderful sewist, and she made me a bag with my name on it. What? It's a box bag with a handle. I love this so hard, you guys. I can't even deal with it. I haven't used it yet because I kind of want the perfect project. I might save this for some travels I have coming up in a couple weeks, because this is just so special. I love the fabric, I love the colors, and I love that my name is embroidered on it. So thank you to my friends for giving me such a generous gift. And then that's not it for my gifts, because Josh got me a gift card to Fiberspace, a very generous one. I have not spent it yet. I'm kind of saving it for a rainy day. And that reminds me, okay Gracie, I still have a gift card to Blue Moon Fiber Arts from Christmas, which my brother gave me. So I kind of think I might get a sweater quantity with each of those gift cards. I'll have to chip in some money of my own, but I kind of want to get myself some more sweater quantities and maybe knit more fingering weight cardigans. Stay tuned. We'll see if I commit to that. So my mom mailed me some lovely things for my birthday too. She made me one project bag and kind of a notions pouch. And she got this, I think she said this fabric is cotton and steel, but she saw the socks and was like, oh, I have to make Laura something out of that. And it's a drawstring bag. I think she crocheted this, crocheted this handle, and it's got a little pocket with a little magnetic thing right here. So thank you, Mom. I love this project bag. This is again, no handles, but This is perfect for the subway and stashing something in my backpack. And then she made a matching little zipper pouch. It's like a little dumpling bag, you know, because it's triangular. So I love this fabric. And it's very soft too, very beautiful. So thank you, Mom. I love them. So even though I've kind of told myself not to buy yarn, I feel like gift yarn doesn't count. And birthday gift card enhancements, they do count, but like, as long as I don't go crazy with my gift card and then spend like $300 at the yarn store to like supplement it, which I never would. I feel like I'm still staying within my goals of not really buying too much yarn this year, except for you know, yarn festivals and things like that. So I think that was all the knitting content I had for you this week. I am planning on recording in the next few weeks, though I have some travel coming up that might throw a little bit of a wrench into my plans. I don't think I mentioned it here, but I'm going to New York City just for a day, overnight, the first week of March. I grew up with a pen pal in England. We started writing when we were probably 10 or 11 or 12. We visited each other when we were 16 and 17, when Liz visited me first. She's from the northern part of England. She visited me summer after my junior year of high school. I visited her and her family the summer after my senior year of high school. And then I had a semester abroad in Manchester, England in 2004. And her family was from near Manchester, so her parents were kind of surrogate parents. They're really lovely. I have not seen Liz since 2004, but she and her husband are coming to New York City in 2 weeks. And I finagled to take a day off work, and I'm just taking the train up for the day and going to see her and her husband for dinner, and then I'm taking the train back and going straight to work on Wednesday afternoon. So it's gonna be a bit of a whirlwind. I'm hoping to get down to Pearl Soho when I arrive on Tuesday afternoon, because I'll have a few hours to kill before hotel check-in and before she and her husband, before their flight gets in. So I am very excited about visiting Pearl Soho. Very excited. It's been a little over a year since I was in New York. I visited in December 2016 after Josh graduated from college. We took a couple days and went there, so I'm very excited. And then later that week, I'm going to Ohio for my niece's first birthday. So that'll be very exciting. So I hope to record before I go to New York, but stay tuned. We'll see. I just don't know how my days will shake out. So it's, like I said, it's been a busy and not busy. It's just kind of been life the past couple weeks. I had a knitting date with Tanya of the Sampler Girl podcast and her mom, Lucy, and their friend Nancy, and we just had a really nice time. That was a week ago tomorrow. It's been a busy few weeks at work, thanks to, you know, awful news out of Florida and just, you know, working in Washington, D.C. There's always news going on out of the government. Gracie just snored next to me on the couch over here, so maybe that's a cue that I'm being too loud and I should wrap things up and get going. So I think I will. So until next time, happy stitching and knitting and all those things, and take care, and I will see you soon.